Equal laws protecting equal rights. The best guarantee of loyalty and love of country. Those words capture the spirit of the American Revolution, a time when ordinary men and women risked everything to turn lofty ideals into living reality. The struggle for freedom surged forward in 1777. On February 5th, Georgia drafted its first constitution. Radicals dominated the convention, and their document gave real power to the legislature, leaving the governor dependent on his council. For the first time, political representation reached beyond elites, though the very poorest were left out. A few months later, New York's delegates, hounded by British advances, met in shifting towns until, on April 20th, they completed their own constitution. They could not even risk submitting it for public ratification, since Washington's battered army was still reeling from losses in New York and New Jersey. That same spring, Congress gave the Revolution a new emblem, a flag of 13 stripes and 13 stars. Charles Thomson explained its colors: white for purity, red for valor, blue for vigilance and justice. To many, it became the fabric of hope. Yet in September, fear gripped Philadelphia. With the British army closing in, patriots spirited away the Liberty Bell, hiding it in a church cellar in Allentown so it could not be melted into British musket balls. In November 1777, the Continental Congress took another bold step by approving the Articles of Confederation, the nation's first constitution. It created a Congress able to make war, treaties, and alliances, though it left real power with the states. By 1778, South Carolina adopted a new permanent constitution of its own, recognizing independence but sharply limiting executive authority. Across the countryside, ordinary people made their stand. In May, Thomas Howell of North Carolina swore allegiance against the king, knowing that if America lost, he might hang as a traitor. The war dragged on. In 1779, Georgia briefly fell back into royal hands, only to become the scene of a daring but failed French-American attempt to retake Savannah. In Massachusetts, meanwhile, John Adams helped craft a constitution unlike any before, written by a special convention and built on a detailed Declaration of Rights. By 1780, momentum shifted. At Kings Mountain in North Carolina, frontier fighters dealt the British a stunning blow. In Pennsylvania, soldiers weary of broken promises mutinied in January 1781, forcing Congress to confront its neglect of the army. That same year, after all 13 states finally ratified the Articles of Confederation, Washington and his allies seized a chance. With French ships at their side, they trapped Cornwallis at Yorktown, forcing his surrender and breaking Britain's resolve. The tide had turned. By July 1782, British troops left Savannah, and by December they abandoned Charleston. In 1783, Congress met in Annapolis, where it ratified the Treaty of Paris, officially ending the war. But peace revealed new problems. The Articles of Confederation left Congress too weak to govern. So in May 1787, delegates gathered in Philadelphia. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, led the way, drafting a stronger framework that balanced liberty with order. His notes preserved the great debates, and by September 17th, the Constitution was signed. Behind these famous names stood countless unknown patriots. William Vaughn in Virginia gave 78,000 pounds of beef to feed the army. Andrew Kegler in South Carolina collected taxes and supplies. John Ogburn, William Hatcher, and David Lee of North Carolina carried out quiet duties that sustained their communities. Without them, Madison's Constitution might never have been written. Today, every September 17th, Constitution Day, we remember not just the delegates in Philadelphia, but the soldiers, jurors, farmers, and laborers who built a nation on the promise of equal rights. Bells ring at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, echoing across America, reminding us of the moment the Constitution was signed, a moment when ideals became a nation. Raise your bells and ring them to commemorate freedom. Today is Constitution Day. As always, thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about American history, please like, share, and follow.